Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Wrestling Show. Pro Wrestling Show we have for you coming up. Let's give you the rundown. What's going to go down right here, right now. Here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We're going to talk about this right here. The Women's Championship is on the line. Let me show you the Women's Championship. JC Jane defends her NXT Women's title against the Raw Women's Champion, Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray wins, a double champion. JC Jane was before. To win the NXT Women's Championship. We'll talk about it coming up. As well as this right here. Our grudge match as we can show the grudge match right quick. Tatum Paxton goes one-on-one against Izzy Dane. And Paxton looking for some retribution, some revenge. Tatum Paxton get the situation going and get some revenge. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Also, too, Tia Hill will go against Blake Monroe for the North American Championship. We'll see that match coming up as well. We get a picture right here. Blake Tia Hill versus Blake Monroe for the Women's North American Championship. We'll talk about that. Well, as the main event, as Ova Fenby defends the NXT Championship against the TNA X-Division Champion Leon Slater. Ova Fenby drew the impossible and retained his championship. But we'll be shocked what Ova Fenby did. We'll talk about that. We got a main roster call up coming up. We'll talk about it in a minute. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kid the Dix here. Lag and join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button. See what miss the thing. Let's not waste no time whatsoever. We're going to kick off with this right here. Ricky Saint. I'm going to show Ricky Saints right quick. Ricky Saints claiming that nobody's in NXT no more. Ricky Saints saying that Javon Evans and Trick Williams are all gone and went up to the main roster, which is deservedly so. He told you Trick Williams is now a member of the SmackDown roster, as Javon Evans now a part of the Raw roster. So a lot of moving parts and stuff moving around, going forward and stuff. So we see Ricky Saints saying he's going to be here for a long time on NXT. He'll be like eventually like them too, probably around SummerSlam time that he'll go over to the main roster. But right now, Ricky Saints saying that he's in NXT and he might have some reasons, more reasons than one, that I could probably see him being NXT champion once again. But this man right here, Obi Femi, holds the gold and packs the gold right here. And we're going to show you Obi Femi. Obi Femi holding the gold and packing the gold that he did. So we see Obi Femi getting ready for his big championship match tonight against Leon Slater. So we'll see that match a little bit later on in the show coming up. But a lot of moving parts as well. As we see right here, we see that Blake Monroe being called out by the general manager. The general manager gave Blake Monroe a warning. She won't be getting her match tonight. So I guess the general manager said Tia Hill will have an open challenge. We'll see that a little bit later on in the show, what that open challenge is going to be. Like we said, Tia Hill was ready and able to win, defend her championship in an open challenge against who? But the general manager saying that she has a surprise. Jordan Grace was kind of way in the wings as well. We don't know what's going on with Jordan Grace, and she might be heading to the main roster as well. A lot of main roster people are moving forward to the main roster. Well, we get to the one of the matches right here, and one of the matches was here we show Izzy Dane. Izzy Dane competed in a grudge match against Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dane had their grudge match, but Izzy Dane had her match against Izzy Dane deadline, won the match. But Tatum Paxley returns the favor, and Tatum Paxley wins her match tonight. Tatum Paxley was not playing. Tatum Paxley getting victorious over Izzy Dane. Izzy Dane decided to take on Tia Hill's open challenge. Izzy Dane went and challenged Tia Hill for the North American Championship, which that was uncalled for as well. It was supposed to be Blake Monroe, but I guess Izzy Dane walked into the back and won the North American Championship from Tia Hill. So Izzy Dane now leaving as a champion and did so by pinning who to get the win. So we see how that went down. Izzy Dane now another North American champion. As well as this right here, I want to show you some more stuff. We see that toxic attraction, fatal attraction. I meant to say is JC Jane, the leader of Fatal Attraction, took on Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray, the women's champion from Evolve, taking on the NXT Women's Champion. Kendall Gray added some more hardware to her mantle. It was going to be hard, but it wasn't enough. But Kendall Gray tried her best. It was a even change as well. But at the end, we see did the impossible, retain the women's title. And JC Jane holding up the gold. We want to show you JC Jane holding up the women's championship. She did and stuff. And JC Jane still retained the women's championship. And then JC Jane making a point clear that no one's going to beat her for the women's championship. It's going to be kind of hard for someone to. JC Jane keeping the women's title. So we see JC Jane. Whoever take that gold from JC Jane is going to be real hard to do so when you got toxic attraction staying around. I still think Tatum Paxton still may have a chance. This might be her trying to gain a confidence, getting rid of Izzy Dane and going for the women's championship. So we could see that either way as well. So let's see that. Well, speaking of that, Joe Henry talking to Over the Mill. Joe Henry was trying to get some backup from Over the Mill. I don't know if they're gonna be convinced or what. We'll see. But Joe Henry is gonna have a big night next week. Joe Henry went to the general manager's office to ask for a match against Deion Lennox, and Joe Henry got his wish granted. So Joe Henry will be going against Deion Lennox next week. No disqualification match. We'll see that match coming up next week. Looking forward to seeing that as well. Well, there's more matches being announced on NXT. There's this right here. The Speed title will be online as well. We'll see Jasper Troy taking on Heights for the Speed Championship. They had an in-ring segment where a lot of some of the men that was part of that situation was out there, as well as Shiloh from LFG was out there. He took his teeth out, which was crazy, trying to romance Ariana Grace. But that did not work. Shiloh will get a championship match next week. Shiloh will challenge for the TNA International Championship against Stax. Stax defends the championship along with Ariana Grace. So we'll see that match as well coming up next week. That's this right here. Two beautiful, sexy ladies, Lola Vice and Kiana Jordan, go one-on-one. We'll see that match next week. Kiana Jordan, the former TNA Women's Champion, takes on Lola Vice. He's been trying to be for some gold, but Lord Vice can't get no gold. Maybe this 2026 will be her year. We'll see. Event for the NXT Championship. It's Ova Fenby set to defend the title against Leon Slater, the TNA X-Division Champion. And what a match that was going to be. As you saw right there, as we see right there, how everything came around and about throughout as well. Well, we saw this right here. Leon Slater gave his all, just wasn't enough for Slater. The young G, the youngest in charge. That's why he like to call himself the youngest in charge. And he did so. Being the youngest in charge, we can show you three. Obi Femi doing the thing, and Obi Femi with that destructive power bomb, getting the victory as well. On Leon Slater. Leon Slater put up a hell of a fight. It just wasn't enough. We saw Obi Femi do something. But what was shocking, Obi Femi retained the championship, but he did this right here. He just retained and left the championship in the middle of the ring. So Obi Femi declaring the title vacated. Obi Femi with his first and last defense of that championship on his second reign. We're hearing reports. Obi Femi did those vignettes for Raw and SmackDown, and now Obi Femi could be heading to the Raw roster, making a big play. Maybe SmackDown might need him. Who knows? Raw, SmackDown, who needs him? But we're going to kind of see where Obi Femi is going to land. Well, Obi Femi vacated the NXT title, and a title. We don't know what Ava's going to do. We know that coming up shortly, we could have a new champion, a tournament coming in February, or Battle Royal. You never know. But we'll see what Ava's decision is going to be coming forward. All right. We also saw this before we leave out on NXT Ring Report. This debut of this new superstar. I don't know who he is, but he's making a debut. He's going to make a splash whenever that's going to be, but he'll try to going forward. Also, too, a wrestling hot topics right here. Royal Rumble looks like they're going to be building a built-in stadium. It's coming to Riyadh, so I guess they didn't. This stadium has not been built. This stadium is just in the beginning stages. They're just going to build the stadium from scratch. Okay, well, they want to do so. So I guess the Royal Rumble will be coming away from a built-in new stadium, or something's gonna go down, or maybe a makeshift stadium. Let's see. Now we kind of know the Royal Rumble is gonna be coming forward. All right, we're gonna leave you here on the NXT Ring Report. Ova Fenby defeated the NXT champion. Ova Fenby defeated Leon Slater to retain his championship. Ova Fenby doing so, decided to vacate the championship. We'll see what's next for the NXT Championship and what's going to be going on forward. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow for the AEW Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.